When we start our adventure as an indie author, one of the big worries we have is how much is it going to cost? The idea of a traditional company, publishing company, is we have that comfort of having them take on all of those costs. And sure, my books that went through a traditional company, they had an editor edit my book. Not well. I actually asked my editor to go through and re-edit because I didn't like how that person edited. I found some words that were, and phrases and things that were poorly edited when I looked at my books that are traditionally edited. And they don't market. I still have to do the marketing. And oh yeah, I've made $0 in the last year of my 4 books, 4 that are traditionally published. Traditionally published books, if you are not a big name, you only get 30% of the money or 40. You got to look at the contract. You don't have control over much of what goes on. They might ask you to rewrite. You still have to market. It's a tricky deal. And it's hard to get into a traditionally published publishing house. Okay, so now we're back into the indie world. And that money is really scary. I've been reading indie authors because I love supporting my indie friends. And sometimes I'm a very detailed-oriented reader. If you are an indie author and you know me and you say, hey, can you read my book? Be very careful. I read slow and I read every word and I have questions. I always have questions. My writers group, they love this. They love that I will ask all the questions because they don't get offended. I've had several friends who've had to rewrite their books because I have all the questions. Just know that's the case when you bring your book to me. I will ask about why this character does this and why is this happening, because this does not make sense. These premises that you've built your story on, it might be the most basic premise that you started your story on, does not make sense. And if you cannot justify it to me, you're not going to justify it to other readers. My base is reading. And if you can't justify it to me, you're going to have other readers going, what is going on? And this is where people have the opinion that indie authors are not as good as traditional. We are often better. There are so many amazing indie authors out there, but don't think that your first step is that editor. Think of your first step as finding another author where you can swap chapters, you can swap books. See if you can get a group. One of my favorite things is when you can get a group of 3 or 4 authors, and each month or 2 months or 3 months, you swap a book and you each read the book. I'm in a group right now where there's 3 of us and we're each reading each other's books and critiquing it. We're not paying each other, we're just reading each other's books and we're asking all the questions and we're noting this doesn't make sense and this does and this is really good and this could use a little cleanup. And we all know each other, but that doesn't even have to be the case. On this particular Facebook page where there's about 200 people in the group, some of the groups are made up of people who don't necessarily know each other. The groups were set up by genre. And it's a matter of finding people who you can work with, be it genre or personality, and authors can help each other. It doesn't have to be about spending $1,000 for a developmental editor. They are amazing, but authors can be each other's developmental editors. And I will tell you, if you take the time to read and critique and look for plot holes and characterization and those basic questions of this plot piece doesn't make sense in other people's writing, it will make you a better author. It'll make you a better writer, because when you go back and read your stuff, you'll start to question it before it gets to other people. You'll start to look at your writing and go, yeah, I see this in my own writing. So switching, you might think, oh, I don't have time to that. I really want to focus on my writing and only my writing. I want to focus on my book and I don't want to get confused with this other story. I haven't seen that happening. I've only seen my writing get better, my friends' writing get better. I've only seen my group get better, stronger, better stories because we work together and help each other, and the ideas start to flow, and we start to, like, our characters grow and everything. It's so beautiful. Over the last 4 years since we've created our writers group, 3 years, 5 years, 50 years, I mean, I don't know, 1,000 years. I feel like we've been together forever. All of our writing has gotten stronger because we ask each other these questions and we trust each other. And it is a really powerful thing. And I will remind you again, if you find somebody who's reading your book and it isn't the words on the page they're critiquing, but you as an author, they are not the person for you. So that is my message for today, for this video. Find somebody who can read your book, your manuscript, your chapter, your words, who you trust to ask those hard questions. Why would they go after my main character who's never shown an affinity towards any magic that could bring down the building? Why? She could have been in the building. Why are they now calling her person non grata? Why would there be kids on drugs if, where are the drugs coming from? Where are the drugs coming from? Why would my main character go into the city when there might be other villages that are safer? Why would the calendar be, and why would there be a calendar that people still follow if we're in a dystopian society and everything has changed and it's 10 years later? Would we still know the birth dates? Would we still know the calendar? Calendars are gone. It's dystopian. Everything has changed. Are we still knowing it's Monday? Because let me tell you, it's summer. I'm not going to work. Every day is Blur's Day. I don't know if I would know what day was what if it's a dystopian society and when my birthday is and everybody else's. I don't know. Maybe I would. Probably not. So these are the questions. Find somebody who will figure out and step back and go, does this make sense? Because at the end of the day, we really want to make sure our story makes sense. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my page, like the video, and I'll see you in the next video. I've just said video a lot.